I want to talk for a second about Black Panther because I know it's been out for a long time and probably feels in some ways like a distant memory for you, but I'm wondering, because of that, the long-lasting impact of this movie, what surprised you about kind of the impact it's had, and how has that sort of affected your sort of philosophy about filmmaking?
I mean, the most surprising thing is just that it worked. You know what I'm saying? Just that it was a movie at all. You know what I mean? Like, when you in that process, as long and hard as the process was, oftentimes I would be like, I don't know if this thing is gonna work. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if, I'm not even sure if this is making sense. You know, but you kind of keep chipping away at it, But the most surprising thing for me, first and foremost, was that we had something that cut together that made some kind of sense that you can put in front of an audience and they could, get something out of it. Fast forward to the release, we never imagined that audiences would respond to it the way that they did. We were just hoping that people would check it out and enjoy it, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you aim for a film to have as much staying power as possible, to have as much relevance as possible, but you can't control that. And to see people taking ownership of the film and wanting to dress like the characters for cosplay, or wearing, clothing that's inspired by the continent and with pride, all of that was just, it was just the most beautiful bonus, man. And it gave me a lot of reasons to be thankful to be able to even do this.
So just how much did that turn up the pressure for this sequel?
I mean, I think the pressure is kind of always going to be there. I've had a chance to make 3 feature films. Each one of them had its own very specific type of pressure, and when you in the process of it, it feels insurmountable. Each time. I remember just realizing that I would be able to tell Oscar Grant's story in the Bay Area at the age I was at the time, and it felt like, oh my God, we got all this pressure to try to get this thing right, to try to make this thing somewhat effective, and getting across what he meant to their family. It was the same thing with Creed, and Stallone kind of saying, yeah, we can do this thing, and it's like, oh my God, we got to do a movie set in Rocky canon. You know what I'm saying? We got to try to get this thing right. So I think that when it comes to making a sequel, I've never done it before. A sequel to something that I directed myself. So I think it's gonna be a lot of pressure there. What we try to do is just focus on the work, like we always do. Really try to go step by step and try to quiet everything else, around us, and really focus on trying to make something that has some type of meaning,
And your roots are being an independent filmmaker, but you seem to be really thriving in a studio context. And not only that, I've noticed that as a producer, you're bringing some other folks in there. I mean, getting Terrence Nance to do this Space Jam thing, getting Stephen Caple to do the Creed sequel. What exactly is sort of your philosophy there in terms of inviting these kinds of folks into that space? Yeah,
I mean, like first and foremost, with Caple, I can't take credit for that. I think his work on the land and his work before in film school kind of speaks for itself, to put him on everybody's radar. And just being able to have somebody who I know, who I believe in, that takes that project on, was just, it was just incredibly fortunate. Because it could have went another way. It could have went to somebody else, and he was totally the right person for that. And for Terrence, just a filmmaker who I believe in, man. Like, just as a cinephile myself, I can't wait to see what he does next. And we really thought that, collectively, us and Spring Hill and Warner Brothers felt like, Terrence made sense for that project, and we really excited about it, and can't wait for people to see what he's been working on for that. But I think that, I started off in I guess lower than the independent film. I was a film student, just making stuff for class, and going from independent films to mid-level studio film, to then working with Marvel. And each time you just try to really think about what are you there for? You're there to tell a story. You might have bigger tools, you might have more people on your crew, more people on your set, but you're still doing the same thing, right?
Good stuff.